Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn about data types. Alright. Now, here on your screen, you can see various fruits. You can see a coconut here, a pomegranate, pineapple, orange, bananas, apple, and others. All these together are collectively called as fruits, right? So we can call these as types of fruits, right? In the same way, you can see various vegetables here: cauliflower, broccoli, carrot, tomato, cucumber, capsicum, and others. All these are together or collectively called as vegetables, right? In the same way, these are collectively called as insects, right? In the same way, we have different types of data that we can use in Python. And that is what we are learning in this video. Alright. Whole numbers, both positive and negative, are collectively called as integers. Okay. So these belong to the data type integer. For example, 3, 7, 95, minus 345, minus 6, and so on. Whole numbers, both positive and negative. Next, values with decimal point, both positive and negative, are collectively called as floating point numbers, or in other words, these belong to the data type known as float. Okay. For example, 4.2, 5.7, minus 33.54, minus 9.413, and so on. These are numbers with decimal point. Alright. And then we have text. Hello, Anil, mobile, cryptocurrency, Wi-Fi, and so on. Those words containing the letters of the alphabet or the text are collectively called as strings, or in other words, these fall under the category of string data type. Alright. Now, we will learn to use these in Python. Okay. Here, I will type age is equal to 34. I am declaring a variable called as age. What is a variable? It is just a space where we can store some value. In this space, which is labeled age, we are storing a value 34. Okay. Now let me print this out. I'll print age. And you can see I get 34 as a result. This is an integer, correct? This is a whole number. This belongs to the data type integer. Okay, integer, whole number, right? Whole number. So here I will say int. Okay, int. Now what did I do here? I will explain it later. Do not worry about it right now. Okay. Next, I will say height is equal to 5.2. Okay. Now, I will change this to height. And now when I run this, I will get 5.2 as output. Alright. This is a decimal number. This is a decimal number. Correct? Decimal number. And so, this belongs to the data type float. So here, I will say float. Alright. Next, let me say name. And I will say Ravi. And now, when I say name here, okay, name, and when I run this, I will get an error. This is because this belongs to the data type string. Correct? What are strings? Strings are text in simple words. So here, Ravi belongs to string data type. Now, when we declare a variable where the value is a string, we need to enclose it in between quotes. Okay. So now when I run this, I will get Ravi as the output. Okay. For integer and float, we should not use quotes. For string, we should use quotes, either single or double. Alright. So this belongs to string. Okay. There are many other data types too in Python. We will learn them when it matters. Okay. Right now, I do not want to explain everything and confuse you. Alright. So remember that when you want to store a string value inside a variable, enclosing between quotes is necessary. Alright. Now, let me type my age is. Alright. And now when I run this, I will get my age is as the output. You know that whatever is typed in between quotes inside a print function will be printed out as it is. Right? Now here, I will put a comma and then I will say age. Okay? And now I will run it. And you can see I get my age is 34 as the result. Right? Now what has happened here? This is printed as it is. My name is. Okay? It is printed as it is. In the place of age, the value of age is fetched and is printed out. Okay? Here we use the comma to separate this from this. We have age here. What is age? Age is a variable wherein we have stored 34 in it. Right? So this 34 will be fetched by the print function and it will be printed like this. Next, let me say print my height is, and I leave a comma and I will say height. And now when I run this, I get my age is 34, my height is 5.2. Okay. So here we have used the name of the variable height. So this value will be fetched and it will be printed out in this line. Here let me say print my name is, and leave a comma, name. Okay, I will run this to get my name is Ravi, my age is 34, and my height is 5.2. All right. Now, let me show you another way to print these in single line. Okay, and that is by using F strings or formatted strings. So let me delete this and let me say print, and I will say my age is, and then I will type this. Okay, and then I'll put a comma and I will say my height is, and I'll put this. Okay, this is called as a placeholder. Okay, this is called as a placeholder. Let me give a space here. All right, now I want to type, or I want to print my age and my height in a single line. So I have typed this out. What should be printed in this place? 34, correct? Where is 34 stored? In age. So in between these curly braces, I need to type in the name of the variable that I want to be printed. Okay. Next, my height is. What do I want to print here? My height, correct? Where is the height stored? In the height variable, right? And so here I need to type in the name of the variable, which is height. All right. Now, this is the print function and I have done this. Before the starting quote, I need to type F. Okay, F. And now when I run it, I get my age is 34, my height is 5.2. The age will be fetched and will be printed out. The height will be fetched and it will be printed out. Okay. Now this works only if we have F in the beginning. If we do not have F, then we will get whatever we have in between quotes as it is. Okay. So this is called as formatted string. Okay, formatted string. And we can directly print out the values stored in variables like this using formatted strings. Okay, so this comes in handy many times. All right, next let me delete this. Okay, and let me delete this too. I will create a variable called age of sun. All right, age of sun, and I will store 5 in it. Okay, now when I try to print age of sun, I will get an error. This is because in a variable name there should not be any spaces. Okay, so if we have multiple words, we can either use, okay, so here is a mistake, we can use underscore, okay, or we can type it like this: A small, the first letter should be small, and then beginning, the first letter of the next word should be capital, like this. Okay, and I will say 6, and age of sun is 6. All right. So this is called as snake case. Okay, snake case. This is known as camel case. And if you capitalize every word like this, then it is called as Pascal case. Okay, Pascal case. All right. So you can type like this, or you can type like this, or you can type like this. You have a choice. Camel case is what people commonly used in programming. All right. So this is one more thing to remember. Next is about commenting. Okay. Using hash symbol like this, we can leave comments. All right. Now, what are the uses of these? Comments can be used to explain Python code, just like what I have done here. Comments can also be used to make the code more readable for us and for others also. Okay? Comments can also be used to prevent the execution of codes, which I will explain in a few minutes. All right. Now imagine this situation. This is a program that you have written today. All right. If you come back to this program after a month, then it will be helpful for you to understand what the program does if you leave comments like these. Correct? Now this is a program with 4 lines in it. Very simple. But generally, programs have hundreds or thousands of lines. And it will be difficult for you to remember what a part of a code does if you revisit it after a long time. All right. So at that time, leaving comments like these will help you. Okay. Now you will understand the importance of comments when you start writing real world programs. Okay. Next use of comment is to prevent execution of a code. Now here I have a print statement, correct? Print age of sun. So when I run it, I have to get 6 as the result. So I'll run it and I have 6 as result. Now in the next line, I will say print and age of sun. I'll run it to get 5 because 5 is stored in this. Okay. Now if we have hash symbol before the print statement, then when I run the program, this line will not be executed. Okay. So when I run this, I get only 5 as the output, which is the result of this line. This line will be ignored by Python, just like Python has ignored this, this and this. Okay. So whatever comes after the hash symbol will be ignored by Python. Okay. So this will be ignored, this will be ignored, this will be ignored, this will be ignored by Python. All right. So this is about commenting. Next, let us learn to use the type function. All right. Now here I will say num1 is equal to 8. Now I know that this belongs to integer data type. I can check it with the type function. So what I will do is I will say print, and inside the brackets I will use the type function. Okay, print is a function, and in the same way type is also a function. All right, now the syntax of type function is this: type along with brackets, and in the brackets I will say num1, and when I hit run I will get int as the result or the output. Okay, it is saying that num1 variable has an integer value stored in it. Okay, next I will say num2 is equal to 5.3, and here I will say num2, and now when I run it I get float as the result. Okay, now in the next line I will say name is equal to Anita, and here I will say name. Now when I run it I get str, meaning string, as the output. This is because inside the variable name a string value is stored. Alright, now let me say num1 plus num2, and now when I run it I get 13.3 as result. 8 plus 5.3 is 13.3. Alright, now here I will wrap this 8 inside double quotes, and now when I run it I will get an error. This is because you know that we wrap, or we should wrap, only strings inside quotes. But since I have wrapped number 8 inside double quotes, Python has stored 8 as a string in this variable. Okay, we can check it using type function. I will say type and I will say num1. Now when I run it, I need a bracket here. It says string. Okay, inside num1 variable 8 is stored as a string and not as an integer value, and that is why we cannot do any operations with it like this. Okay, so let me delete it so that it will be stored as an integer value and we can run it. Alright, so this is about data types. This is it for this video. In the next video, we will learn to take input from users. Alright, see you there.